for over 250 years, Japan lived in an age unlike any other, a time without major wars, a time of strict order, and a time when the outside world was kept at bay. This was the Tokugawa Shogunate, a regime that ruled Japan from 1603 to 1868, shaping its society, culture, and identity in ways still felt today. It all began with the Battle of Sekigahara in 1600. Tokugawa Ieyasu, a cunning warlord, emerged victorious, defeating rival clans and unifying Japan after centuries of civil war. In 1603, he was granted the title of shogun, establishing the Tokugawa Shogunate in Edo, modern-day Tokyo. For the first time in generations, Japan had a central authority strong enough to enforce lasting peace. The Tokugawa Shogunate wasn't just a military government, it was a carefully designed system of control. Daimyo lords ruled their domains but were required to swear loyalty to the shogun. Under the Sankin-katai system, they had to spend alternating years in Edo, leaving their families there as hostages. This ensured no one grew powerful enough to rebel. It was a society built on hierarchy, order, and discipline. To preserve stability, the Tokugawa rulers turned Japan inward. Foreign missionaries were expelled, Christianity was banned, and trade was restricted to a few Dutch and Chinese merchants at Nagasaki's artificial island. This policy, known as Sakokutha, closed country, kept Japan isolated from most of the world for more than 2 centuries. While Europe was exploring, colonizing, and industrializing, Japan focused on internal order and tradition. With peace came prosperity and culture flourished. Edo grew into one of the largest cities in the world. Kabuki theater entertained audiences, woodblock prints captured vibrant urban life, and haiku poetry celebrated the beauty of nature in just a few words. Samurai became administrators and scholars, while merchants, once at the bottom of society, grew wealthy and influential. This period gave Japan much of the cultural identity we recognize today. Yet peace came at a price. Strict class divisions caused frustration. Famines struck the countryside, leading to uprisings. By the 19th century, Western powers demanded trade. In 1853, Commodore Matthew Perry's black ships arrived, forcing Japan to open its ports. The once unshakable Tokugawa order began to crumble. Discontented samurai and reformist leaders rallied under the emperor, pushing for change. In 1868, after more than 250 years of rule, the Tokugawa Shogunate collapsed during the Boshin War. The emperor was restored to power in what became known as the Meiji Restoration. The age of isolation ended, and Japan rapidly transformed into a modern, industrial nation. The samurai era, so central to the Tokugawa world, faded into history, though it ended in upheaval. The Tokugawa period left behind a legacy of peace, stability, and culture. It was an age that shaped Japan's cities, its art, and even its sense of discipline and order. Today, echoes of Edo remain in the tea ceremonies, in the poetry, and in the enduring spirit of a nation that balanced tradition with change. The Tokugawa Shogunate was more than a government, it was an era that defined Japan, an age of peace and isolation, of culture and control. Its story reminds us that sometimes, stability can shape a nation as much as war. And in Japan's case, those 250 years laid the foundation for the country we see today.